All right, let's dive in. Elon Musk and Liverpool Football Club. It's a headline that's got everyone talking.
A billionaire tech mogul buying one of the most iconic football clubs in the world. It almost sounds like something out of a movie.
Well, we've got a stack of articles here from Sky Sports, Times of India, WION, Goal.com, and even Business Standard, all buzzing about this potential takeover.
It seems like the rumor mill really went into overdrive after Elon's own father, Errol Musk, kind of let the cat out of the bag.
Right. He said Elon would like to buy the club, which, I mean, that's not exactly a firm denial, is it?
Not exactly, though to be fair, Errol did add that wanting something and actually going for it are two very different things.
Especially when we're talking about a club like Liverpool, right? I mean, they're not exactly a small-town team.
Not at all. Forbes values them at a whopping £4.3 billion, which makes them the fourth most valuable club in the world.
Fourth? That's insane. But then again, we are talking about Elon Musk here.
Exactly. His net worth is estimated to be around $340 billion. So buying Liverpool would be like, maybe 1% of his wealth?
Pocket change for a guy who's launching rockets into space.
Pretty much. But here's the thing. Fenway Sports Group, or FSG, the current owners, they've made it very clear that Liverpool is not for sale.
Yeah, Sky Sports chief reporter Kaveh Solhekol even confirmed that. No offers for Musk or anyone else.
So even if Elon's interest is genuine, it seems like FSG isn't budging.
At least not yet. But okay, let's say hypothetically they did change their minds. Could Elon Musk even pass the Premier League's owners and directors test?
Yes. The infamous owners and directors test. That's where things could get interesting.
Fill me in. What's this test all about?
Well, it's basically a background check to make sure potential owners are fit and proper to run a club. They look at things like financial stability, criminal history, that sort of thing.
So are we suggesting Elon's got skeletons in his closet?
Not necessarily.
Yeah.
But his business dealings, and let's be honest, his online persona, they've definitely raised some eyebrows over the years.
He's not exactly known for being, diplomatic.
Right. Kaveh Solhekol actually thinks Musk would likely pass the test, but he says the bigger challenge would be winning over the fans.
Yes. The COPIP. They're a force to be reckoned with. They've shown time and time again that they're not afraid to make their voices heard.
Absolutely. And they're fiercely protective of their club's values, both on and off the pitch. So, yeah, Elon Musk might have a tough time convincing them that he's the right fit for Liverpool.
It's almost like a cultural clash waiting to happen, isn't it? The tech world versus the world of football.
Exactly. And speaking of the football world, we can't ignore Liverpool's current financial situation. They posted a pre-tax loss of £9 million last year.
Ouch. That's not good. And with them missing out on the Champions League this season, I imagine things could get even tighter, right?
It's definitely a factor to consider. Missing out on the Champions League means missing out on a significant chunk of revenue.
So maybe a cash injection from someone like Elon Musk wouldn't be such a bad thing after all.
Well, it's certainly a possibility. But there's another wrinkle to this story that we haven't even touched on yet.
Oh. Do tell. What else is there?
This whole thing gets even more intriguing when you consider Elon's personal connection to Liverpool. His grandmother was actually born there.
Wait, seriously, I had no idea. That adds a whole new dimension to this whole thing.
Right. And apparently, these still have family in the city. There's even a connection to the Beatles, believe it or not.
Wow, okay, suddenly this feels less like a business deal and more like, I don't know, destiny, fate.
Perhaps. It definitely adds a layer of complexity to the narrative, but, that's a conversation for another time.
A cliffhanger. All right, fine. We'll have to save that juicy tidbit for part 2 of our deep dive. But in the meantime, think about it, folks. What does this personal connection mean for Elon's potential ownership? Could it sway the fans? We'll tackle those questions next time. So last time we left off with that bombshell. Elon Musk, potential owner of Liverpool Football Club, also has family ties to the city.
It's almost too perfect, isn't it? Like something out of a feel-good sports movie.
But let's not get carried away just yet. I mean, even with this personal connection, we still have to consider the massive implications of a Musk takeover.
Of course. We're not talking about some passive investor here. This is Elon Musk.
Exactly. A guy who's known for, disrupting entire industries.
He's not exactly shy about shaking things up, is he? So what happens when that kind of personality collides with the world of football? Specifically, a club like Liverpool, with its history, its traditions.
It's a recipe for, something. But what? That's the question.
Well, on the one hand, you've got the potential for massive investment, right? We're talking state-of-the-art facilities, cutting-edge technology,
Yeah.
maybe even some radical ideas that could change the game as we know it.
Okay, but wouldn't that clash with the whole, I don't know, the ethos of English football? The Premier League has always been pretty strict about controlling spending, especially with financial fair play regulations.
That's where things get really interesting. Would Musk be willing to play by the existing rules? Or would his wealth, his influence, allow him to bend them, maybe even rewrite them entirely?
Now you've got me thinking. Could this be the start of a new era for the Premier League? One where big spending and technological advancements become the norm?
It's definitely a possibility. But we also have to consider how Musk's personality, his management style, would fit within the culture of English football. He's known for being, shall we say, demanding, driven.
Some might even say ruthless.
Right. And his communication style, very direct, sometimes confrontational, that can definitely rub some people the wrong way in the football world, which is often, well, let's just say it's a bit more traditional.
And don't forget the political aspect. Musk's been pretty outspoken about his views on certain government policies.
Oh, absolutely. Can you imagine the headlines if he starts using the club's platform to voice his opinions on, say, taxes or Brexit?
It would be a PR nightmare.
A complete and utter disaster.
Yeah.
So, yeah, maybe a Musk takeover wouldn't be all sunshine and roses. But what about the fans? How would they react to all of this?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? I mean, the Liverpool fans, they're not known for being passive observers.
They're the cop, for crying out loud. They're passionate, they're vocal, and they're fiercely protective of their club.
And they've shown time and again that they're not afraid to stand up for what they believe in.
Exactly. So while some fans might be excited about the prospect of increased investment, global recognition, maybe even a few shiny new trophies,
others might worry about the potential loss of the club's soul, its identity.
right. Would it still feel like their club if it became a global brand, a marketing machine for Tesla or SpaceX?
It's a classic clash between progress and tradition, isn't it?
It really is. And honestly, it's impossible to predict how the fans would ultimately react. It would depend on a lot of factors.
So, on one hand, you have the potential for massive investment, groundbreaking innovation, a global spotlight on Liverpool.
But on the other hand, you have the risk of alienating the fans, disrupting the traditions of English football, turning the club into, well, a political football.
It's a gamble, that's for sure. But then again, isn't that what makes this whole situation so fascinating?
It's like a high-stakes poker game, and we're all just watching to see who blinks first.
Speaking of high stakes, we haven't even talked about how this whole experience could change Elon Musk himself. I mean, owning a football club, it's a whole different ballgame compared to running a tech company.
Oh, absolutely. It's a world driven by emotion, passion, tradition. Things that can't be easily quantified or controlled.
I think he's ready for that. The roller coaster ride that is Premier League football.
Well, he certainly thrives on challenges. And this would be a challenge unlike any he's faced before.
Imagine a stadium full of passionate fans, the weight of history on his shoulders, the unpredictable nature of the game itself.
It's almost like a social experiment, isn't it? Can a man who built his empire on logic and innovation adapt to a world governed by heart and tradition?
Only time will tell.
Yeah.
But regardless of the outcome, one thing is clear. This saga is far from over.
And it has the potential to reshape not just a football club, but the entire landscape of sports ownership.
We've explored the potential impact on Liverpool, the league, even Elon Musk himself, but there's one crucial piece of the puzzle still missing.
The fans.
And that's where we'll pick things up in part 3 of our deep dive. Okay, so we're back for the final part of our Elon Musk Liverpool deep dive, and we've talked about the money, the potential impact, even what this could all mean for Elon himself.
But now it's time to talk about the heart and soul of any football club.
The fans.
Exactly. And Liverpool fans, well, they're not just any fans, are they?
Nope. They're the cup. They're known around the world for their passion, their loyalty, and their willingness to, let's just say, make their voices heard.
Remember those protests against the European Super League? I mean, they played a huge role in shutting that whole thing down.
They sent a very clear message. Don't mess with our club.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So how would those same fans react to the idea of Elon Musk, a billionaire tech CEO, taking over their beloved Liverpool?
Well, from what I've seen on social media, it's a pretty mixed bag.
Yeah, I've seen that too. You've got some fans who are like, bring on the investment. Let's sign some superstars.
But then you've got others who are much more hesitant, even outright opposed to the idea.
They're worried about what a Musk takeover would mean for the club's identity. its values, its connection to the city.
They're afraid he might turn it into some kind of global brand, a marketing tool for Tesla or SpaceX.
Right. Instead of a club that's rooted in the community, in the heart of Liverpool.
It's a valid concern. It's something we're seeing more and more in the world of sports, right? This growing influence of wealthy individuals and corporations, often with little or no connection to the communities they represent.
It's a tough balance. You need financial stability to compete at the highest level.
But you don't want to lose the soul of the club, the very essence of what makes it special to the fans.
And that's why the fans' voices are so important in all of this. They need to be heard. They need to engage in this conversation, make their feelings known to the club, to potential owners, to the governing bodies of football.
So what's next? What does the future hold for Liverpool Football Club?
I wish I had a crystal ball, but honestly, it's impossible to say for sure. Will Elon Musk actually make a bid? Will the fans embrace him, reject him? Something in between.
It's a mystery. But one thing's for sure, this is a story that goes way beyond just money and football.
This is about community, identity, the passionate bond between a club and its supporters. And those are things you can't put a price tag on.
Well said. So as we wrap up our deep dive, we want to leave you with this. What does it really mean to own something? Is it about money, control, influence? Or is it about something more, something that can't be bought or sold?
It's a question worth pondering, whether you're a die-hard football fan or just someone who's interested in the forces that shape our world.
Thanks for joining us on this journey. We hope it's given you some food for thought, maybe even spark some conversations of your own. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and as always, keep the conversation going.